ABWCI Dialogues. Welcome, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And this is the 6th episode of ABWCI Dialogues, as we are talking to leaders from across the world and also our famous leaders who have done so phenomenally well in their personal life, professional life, political life. I can say that, I'm so proud of all my women presidents and also all women leaders as such. About ABWCI, we are a virtual global chamber of commerce for women working towards social and economic empowerment of women entrepreneurs. As I always say, our mission is to establish collaborative ecosystem to engage, network, identify, and leverage market opportunities globally. Our vision is to nurture and provide an enabling environment for women in business to build a sustainable and better future. As you all know, we are a global chamber of commerce operating in 23 countries worldwide and also increasing our presence every week because we feel that in a couple of years, by 2024 December, we will be in 195 countries worldwide. About the dialogue, this is a chat series to create a productive space that invites key stakeholders of our ecosystem to join and for you to listen to women in business, industry experts, talking about their ideas, journey, experiences, and the challenges they have faced. And there is a lot of learning because when we speak to them, I get so much excited to really see that what they have built with their really hands, I can say, because all of our women entrepreneurs are the first generation entrepreneurs. ABWCI recognizes 4 big challenges going around in the world when we talk about women entrepreneurs: access to market, access to finance, access to technology, and also access to entrepreneurial ecosystem. Our conversation aims to create an enabling environment addressing these challenges to get deeper insights into our speakers' entrepreneurial journey and their key takeaways. Today we have a very, I can say, really impressive leader from Bangladesh, Salima Ahmed. She is a member of parliament, an entrepreneur, business leader, and was elected as the member of parliament of the People's Republic of Bangladesh in the 11th national election held in December 2028. Since then, she has been relentlessly working and with dedication for the betterment of people in her constituency and also to really see globally on women economic empowerment. She is the president and founder of Bangladesh Women Chamber of Commerce and Industry and also ABWCI's country president for Bangladesh. Salima ji, welcome to this show. And I'm really excited, not because you are my friend, but also a senior leader. And I'm really from depth of my heart, I can say that how really I'm impressed with what you have achieved in this world. Today, you are sitting in Bangkok representing the government and also talking about, women economic empowerment and also on the whole issue of how rural women should strive on this. Now, when you talk about this, when you work, and I've seen you in the villages in Bangladesh from my eyes, I am really, this is inspiring to really see you as such. But my question, and I always are very curious, that when you were starting your life when you were young, how did you come into this entire thinking about, building the ecosystem, helping women and entrepreneurs, and then creating this chamber in Bangladesh? So I have given you maybe 3-4 questions in one question, but it's a candid dialogue, it's a candid discussion. So please feel free to talk about, and it will be a great session. I feel that together we can really tell our audience from across the world that women in South Asia are very strong and really working towards making this ecosystem really vibrant. So over to you, Salima ji.
Thank you so much. A very good afternoon, evening, night, morning, whatever it is. Parul Soni, he has been a driving force for ABWCI. I'd also like to take this opportunity to all the staff and the management who are with the ABWCI, engaging us and all of my fellow sisters. If I look back, when I think when I was just born and when I was growing up, as a child, as a girl child, I used to see, my um, grandmothers or my mother or the other elderly ladies, that how small or how belittle they used to think themselves, because they are not earning money, but they were working so hard from the morning till night. And earlier days, like we are 6 brothers and sisters, and mostly they used to have so large families. And I used to think, why? Because they are working so hard. My father is also working hard, but why this sort of small, feelings with that discrimination was very much, haunting me, and I always wanted to be empowered. So my dream was that I will be economically empowered. I never thought of being an entrepreneur. But I was married very young. I was married when I was just finishing my 12th grade. Before going to the university, I became a mother. So my thing was, my God, if I finished, stopped my studies, then I will be like them, So I have to finish my studies and I have to be economically empowered. I need to have a voice. I need to be equal. So that was very much with me. So on that time, I was a arts background, but I switched to commerce. I studied in management in Dhaka University and finished masters. And then I thought that having a child and managing the household, and also my husband was also starting his new businesses. So entrepreneurship is the most flexible way to do, so that I can manage my home also, take care of my child, and then earn some money. So I started my business with some of my university friends. So it was a consultancy firm I started. And later on, that is the interesting thing, because business is full of risk. When you start a business, you have a dream and you want to make money. You want to make profit. But actually, sometimes you don't know whether you will be able to sustain it or not. That risk taking sometimes cannot be taken, or some people cannot take it. So all my male friend, I was the only actually woman, they left. They said, you have a husband. Even if your business fail, your husband is there to support you. But what to do? So
Correct.
What will happen to us? So they all left me and have their own jobs in banks and other. My husband was starting his new businesses in the automobile. So I joined with him. But on that time, I was always feeling that I don't want to be only with him, I want to do something of my own. So I started thinking of what to do, because I was also involved with the handicrafts business earlier during the student life. So I wanted to do something new, which is I created the first artificial silk flower industry in Bangladesh, engaging about 200 village women. And this is something which I would like to tell, which I'll tell later on, that when we do a business, we have a dream, but only dream will not make you successful. A strategy is very important. Knowing your market is important. Knowing your customer is important. Knowing your weakness, strength, and doing a SWOT analysis is important. Don't fall in love with your ideas. That's I always say. Yeah, of course, you must have passion. You must have that commitment. But just don't fall in love that, okay, like with a love, you don't see any fault. But in business, you have to really find out that where there is a fault. So that is
amazing. Because the thing is, Limani, what you are saying is really, I can say, it's so good to really listen to this, because I meet so many entrepreneurs, both men and women, and they say, we get so many good ideas and this is all that. But the thing is that they don't understand sometimes that the clients are not ready to buy those ideas. So, I'm so happy to listen to your real thinking that, how you started. And I know you are so successful these days. When I come to Bangladesh, I think it looks like you own half of Bangladesh. So, so I'm so happy that, people should across the world should know that, with all what you have achieved, and this is your achievement, you are the first generation entrepreneur, and you have not one day even thought that you will fail. And that's the confidence you have. So from moving on from your youth then to your now political life, how are you managing that?
You see, for me, democracy is very important. I always feel that we are human beings and we need to be equal. But also, I always believe that, that our society has given us so much. For me, being married in such an early age, but being so successful, alhamdulillah. So I feel that I need to give back to my society. Of course, I have developed so many women entrepreneurs, but why I wanted to be in politics, one of the thing is because as a member of parliament, I am a lawmaker. So that is the one reason. Of course, I want to do good work for the people of my constituency, but I want to bring changes in the parliament. I want to see that I can bring some laws by lobbying which can bring benefit for the women entrepreneurs, for women's economic empowerment. So that is why I thought that, as a advocate or as a policy maker activist or a development activist, many things can be possible but cannot be possible if there is not a good policy, because no country, no woman can develop if the country or the state or the government doesn't support, and if there is not a gender friendly policies or a policy which gives a business friendly environment. And that's why one of the reason was me. And also I actually advocated and trained the grassroots women entrepreneur to be in the lowest tier of the politics, so that they are entrepreneurs, because entrepreneurs has little amount of money because they're economically solvent, so they can spare some time doing this volunteer works. So that is also I would like to call that all, if entrepreneurs can be in politics, because politics is actually for doing good for the people. We have a taboo that politics means all bad people are there. No, it is only the politicians actually who can bring changes in the life of the people. So
no, very correct, very correct. You said that we have to take the plunge, we have to come out, and we have to work towards the society, the change you have to be a change maker in the society if we have to bring that kind of change. One is from the business side of it, the other is basically looking at that how we will, through democracy, through working with the people, through collaboration, through partnerships, you can bring that kind of change. And the change has to be also from the grassroots. The reason being that sometimes you see that, the superficial change, and I always feel that the superficial change is not permanent. This has to be more in-depth, or we have to very deep change has to be looking at. And my follow-up question on this, Salima ji, is that when you see all this, do you see any change? I'm saying now I'm talking about South Asia, because I know you have brought in so much change in Bangladesh, because when I see the historical, the whole Grameen, the BRACs, and many other very big ideas which have really changed Bangladesh from this entire initiative perspective. From the ecosystem perspective, do you see the changes coming in last few decades?
In a positive note, yes, because unfortunate that our politics sometimes hampering our business. The SAC chamber, as we all know, that the way it should have happened, it didn't. I was also a vice chairperson of the SAC Women Entrepreneur Council, and I have seen that the relationship, the bonding with all the SAC countries and Southeast Asia also. We have so many similarities. So our emotional, our likings, our thoughts are so similar. So why not exchange of goods? Why not exchange of business? One of the reason is that I did a work in the cross-border trade also. That that ignorance, that lack of information. Like if an entrepreneur from India wants to export to Bangladesh, or a Bangladeshi entrepreneur wants to export to India or Bhutan or other part, they don't know the laws. They try to just start a business or just try to do it without not knowing the information. So lack of information is one of the hindrance, because business cannot be taken just like a, just I'm selling and buying. I need to know all the custom formalities. I need to know HS code. I remember I was an exporter of artificial flower, and I was in Frankfurt selling my product, and they asked me, what is your HS code? And I said, what is the HS code? So, and because no one taught us about that. But now, with our ABWCI and with our sort of organization, we can train and educate our entrepreneurs that, when you need to export, these are the things you need to know. Even having a passport, even having a, traveling. I remember I used to take from the lowest, small villages, traveling with me in the plane, and my development partners used to say, why you are taking her? I said, fastening a belt in the aeroplane, having a boarding card, that is also empowerment.
Yes,
for this village women.
So great. So, I'm so happy you were talking about it, because we sometimes feel that everyone knows this, but what happens is that these smaller things, going from a village, coming to a town, taking a bus, from that town going to the aircraft, in terms of to the airport, taking the aircraft, how things are, it gives them so much confidence. And this is also part of the confidence building and the trust building between people.
Yeah, so and that is why another reason is in the border trade, what we found, especially if I talk about this Nepal and Bhutan and Bangladesh, India, there is no gender-friendly environment. I personally visited all these areas, and I remember there was not even a toilet for women. So women who are traveling, entrepreneur who are traveling for other part of the world, and a night journey, maybe she's coming from a bus, what to go. So these are the harassment also in the border place. So we need to actually talk to the custom officials. We need to actually have more dialogues into the real situation, real place, like going to the border area, talking to the customs, and bringing changes. So these are the things actually from our organization we need to do, having more dialogue with the actual people who are working there to facilitate cross-border trade.
You are sitting in in Bangkok, in Thailand, and I can see how women are empowered there, businesses, in terms of the ownership. You see, women who are owners of businesses in Southeast Asia. Go to Thailand or Singapore or Malaysia, all that. Very strong women, because now we are working across the world. I can see the change, or I can see the whole comparison between India and Indian women, Bangladeshi women, or Nepalese women in the South Asia, and then comparing with South Asia.
One of the reason I just want to add on. One of the reason is that this Bangkok or Thailand, these women take business as a profession, as a seriously. Our women also take it as a profession, but sometimes they take it as a hobby. So that they have to identify that whether it is a hobby or it is a profession, they have to be
amazing. Successful. This is a big point, Salimaji, because a lot of people also are surviving entrepreneurs. They sometimes They used to do something, and now because of survival, they are doing something. They are not growing and all. But your point is that, as an entrepreneur, as, business women, the whole categorization changes. Because when we say businessmen and businesswomen, as soon as we say businesswoman, see the whole differentiation. It's the whole, you command that kind of confidence and respect because you're talking about it. So this is very important as a profession. If somebody adopts it and then does it, and then they're not going back to jobs. This is their job. This is their profession. So good point. I think this is a point which one has to really talk more, and we have to discuss, because these are things which are really looking at from that. And from
you see, opportunity will knock the door, but sometimes will not. So if it doesn't knock the door, you have to build your own door.
Good, very good, very good. So from this entire ecosystem, what is missing according to you? Said you spoke about the money transfer. You spoke about the ecosystem which is supporting the countries as such. Between countries like in South Asia and all that, there is no portability. There is no proper banking channel. And all that. We all are very, very dependent on dollar trade. There is no South Asia currency, which is basically, or SAARC currency, which we always thought, when we were growing up, there is this whole thinking of, creating a one currency in this country, which can be, tradable and which can be used as such. So I think these are things which, do you also feel that these are things which are creating problems and hurdles?
Yeah, definitely. For any entrepreneurs, the ecosystem is very important. I think 3 areas need to be really addressed, which is that capacity building. Whatever stages that women entrepreneurs are, if she's micro, she needs to be small. If she's small, medium, large. So that's the way the capacity building. And the government must have policies in favor of developing the women entrepreneurs. Like in Bangladesh, we never had any policy for women entrepreneurs, but with my lobbying, we had a policy that till $25,000 without collateral, the lowest rate of interest in the bank, they are getting bank loan. It was never earlier. So that really boosted so many entrepreneurs to come, because mostly many women of our part of the world doesn't have properties. That is also one of the biggest hindrance, because we don't have properties mostly in our name. So policies are important, capacity building is important, and access to market. Knowing your market is so important, because sometimes we really don't know our market. We really don't do much research. We don't. Also, we sometimes, one thing happen that we women entrepreneurs, seeing some other women are doing good, we just completely copy her. I said, don't copy her. Yeah, try to learn from her, but do something niche.
Correct.
Something niche, something new. Because if you don't do something new, you can never succeed. So in businesses, it has to be innovative. It has to be creative, which is only yours. None. If it is someone else, then it's not yours. So you will not be successful. So
but I'm fascinated with Bangladesh model, and because I always, whenever I go very frequently, I meet you so often. I look at the market, because I've been going to Bangladesh from last now 20 years, and each time I go, I get really, I'm saying, surprised with the way things are changing. And I think people are really interested to bring that kind of change from that perspective. And also leaders like you, Salima ji, amazing, I'm saying, strength which you have brought into the country, the business, what you're talking about, innovation, creativity, bringing in new policies on access to finance, collateral-free loans, and the whole ecosystem which is developing as such on that. But so moving on from this, from the perspective of ecosystem now, what is the future? What, according to you, is the next move or next future, or what is happening? So we should all be, you can say, embraced with it, or we should feel that, we are training or building capacity of our women entrepreneurs across the world on this, because you can see that change. So we want to learn from you from that perspective.
You see, COVID-19 has affected us, but COVID-19 has given us an opportunity also. So that is digital marketing, online marketing. So this is also another area where women entrepreneurs can really now come on with less investment, with new ideas. We need to take these opportunities. And I think COVID-19 has made us much more stronger. We know how much life is important now. And that's why we want to make use of our life much in a better way, much more in a successful way. I think the laziness or, whatever we used to have, now we are like in charge that no, life is so important, and we are still alive, and we need to work hard to make a better world. And I think women are now is not only a dreamer, they are making it happen. And the young girls, how they are using the technology, and the village women can get support from these young educated entrepreneurs. So that linkage with this whole ecosystem, if you can do that, a micro entrepreneurs linking with a digital IT entrepreneur. So there's a huge scope, but we have to actually need to guide. We need to actually have more dialogues, even within the region, more dialogue, more conversation. I really thank you for giving me this an opportunity, because if we don't talk, then who is going to talk, and who is going to hear, who is going to listen to us? So we need to be heard, right? Our voice needs to be heard. So dialogue is very important. And networking. I was just thinking that, we should also start mentoring program. Like, I'm in a certain business, I know about that business, and some woman entrepreneurs, if she's young, she want to know how my business is doing, she can be my mentee. So this mentoring and mentee relationship is very important, because that can really help now our young entrepreneurs to move forward, learning from our success and failure. For me, failure is a learning. Failure is not at all a failure. Yeah. Failure is a learning, and you learn from that. You put your heads high, you fall down, you get up, and you again with a new dream. And always you need to know that you need to change your strategy in life, because sometimes you think that, okay, this is very good, but the situation changes. Yeah. And then you need to change your strategy. Like in the COVID time, this online business has started. Food are coming at your home. No one thought of that. Groceries are coming. Even your red chilies or green chilies are coming at home with a small packet. No one thought of the dal bhat. Dal bhat. Everything is coming up. So. Yeah. So these are always threat brings opportunity. So correct. We have to think about it, that we should not be fear if we lose. Only thing that we have to know our business. Yes. We have to learn. We have to use our brain and with our heart. Only your heart will not work. No, great. Yeah, heart and brain is important.
No, and one thing you have rightly said, and we are also now starting is we open doors. We are starting a new program, which is Women Entrepreneurs Open Doors, where we'll be projecting each country in every fortnight or every month, where we are saying that we will get 15 or 20 entrepreneurs from that country and project it all over the world, that these are the countries we'll pre-select. So we are also bringing in new ideas, new programs to see that, we open doors will bring that kind of variety of methodology to see that, these women entrepreneurs can project and sell to the world. That's one. The second is online mentoring. Now, as we are speaking today, it's digital, it's virtual. Today, this was not possible before COVID, I can tell you, as Salimaji, you are saying, because we had not thought, because we used to have these big events, talk to you, panel discussions and all those kinds of things. Now, everything is possible digitally. We are talking, we are seeing, we can share our emotions or, digitally, or, I can say virtually. So we are also now trying to put a program on mentoring, which will be online mentoring, where we can collect mentors from across the world who are successful and help these grassroots or normal SMEs, small entrepreneurs, to see that how they can scale up. These are things which we are now looking at and we are thinking of creating. So these are things which we are looking at and creating. My last question, and I don't want to leave you without that. You spoke about failures. Okay. What is, according to you, was, I don't want to listen to your, just personally, but professionally, one failure which you felt that this was the biggest learning?
You see, the love of my life, the artificial silk flower industry, which I established, it was a totally Chinese technology. And I thought that, this is a new ideas, new thing I am establishing, but not knowing my competitors. In China, there are thousands of big, 1,000 workers. Each factory consists of 1,000 workers, and they actually had the technology, and I didn't have the technology. I had to depend on them.
Yeah.
So whenever I needed something, they're making something new, I had to call them. If they give me, I can buy their raw materials. If they don't give, so if you really don't know totally, then don't invest on it. So that was my biggest learning. And then I found that, my God, they're changing their technology all the time. And I don't have that technology. And I tried. I brought even craftsmen from India and other parts to make the mold and anything, but it was not happening. I could make like Chinese craftsmen people. So this is important, that knowing the strength of your competitors, and if you're weak, you don't know the full story about that business, don't get involved into it. So when I found that this is something that the technology is all the time changing, and I cannot cope with them because I don't have that learning thing. And Bangladesh government also couldn't provide me with that information. None could give me that information except that Chinese people. So I thought, I was in a break-even sort of thing. I closed down, because that if I didn't, then I would have lost huge amount of money. So it's better that I closed down that industry and move to other industries. So this is one of the learning I learned, that whenever you invest anything, you need to know really totally each and detail of the business. Because I remember one of my brother who owns a restaurant. He cooks so well. He said, if I don't know how to cook, then will not know that my chef is doing the right thing or not. So these are small tips.
Salimaji, what you were really so correct, and it was like, when you throw a dart, you are on bullseye. What you said, that one, you have to identify that what are your competitors, who's investing, where is the competition coming on, who is the buyer, how will I sell, what is the logistics. And as you rightly said, if you feel that this is where my investment will go wrong, you have to eject. As the pilot, in a fighter aircraft, you have to eject for safety. And entrepreneurs should know, one, they should do the market scan. They should have that kind of feasibility to see that whatever they do, I think patience is needed at that time to see that, what is successful and what is not. And from that, there's a lot of learning from this perspective. So Salimaji, thank you so much for your really candid discussion and candid conversation, I can say. It is more to say your conversation, you're hearing about, ups and downs, your successes, the failures. I think this will be very, very helpful for our women worldwide of all our members of ABWCI, that how we can learn from our presidents and also leaders from across the world as such. I am so proud of you, and I always thank God that Salima exists and Salima is thriving. Salima will live long because we want more women to be like you, and that's what my entire thinking of it. We thank all of you for joining in today and tuning in.
I just want to close with one word that, to all the entrepreneurs, that we must say that I will win, maybe not immediately, but absolutely, definitely.
With that note, such a beautiful note, Salima ji, thank you so much for joining in today. We will meet again very soon in our 7th episode of ABWCI Dialogues. And I want to wish good luck to all of you. Stay well, stay safe, and we will see you soon. Thank you, Salima ji, once again.
Thank you all.
Candid conversation.